This year's Fright Fest at Six Flags Magic Mountain may not be as extreme as last year's. And what do we mean by that? Well, there's a couple different things that we mean by that. See, last year was the debut of Six Flags Fright Fest Extreme. Essentially what the Extreme meant is no, not the extreme coasters and attractions that they have. Instead, they had extreme haunted houses, extreme scare zones, and just extreme everything. Literally extreme. For Six Flags. We had stuff like The Conjuring, Stranger Things, Trick or Treat. There were so many different new things that came to Fright Fest, especially at Magic Mountain, which, to be honest, under-delivered a little bit. So that's what today I kind of want to talk about. What is the future for Six Flags Magic Mountain in Fright Fest 2025? Because there's a couple things that I've noticed since the Cedar Fair merger with Six Flags that are positives, not only with their special events, but with the park in general. So today we're talking a little bit about what's to come for 2025's Fright Fest, what changes will be made, what changes I think should be made, and much, much more. By the way, y'all, you'll notice today I am rocking this super cool shirt from the Halloween t-shirt company. I just want to give a huge shout out to them for sending us a little spooky care package. If you haven't watched that reel on our Instagram already, make sure to do so. They sent us a fun spooky care package filled with different Halloween shirts, and I really love their shirts. They're really good quality. I threw this in the dryer for 10 minutes, got all the wrinkles out, really good quality, so huge shout out to them. You can find their shop link down below in the description, and make sure you're keeping up to date with our social platforms because we'll always be posting photos of their new designs and different special deals on there as well. But once again, huge shout out to the Halloween t-shirt company. But yes, let's get back to it. Fright Fest 2025. Now I want to kind of rewind a little bit before we get there. Something that was really popular last year, at least with the haunt community, was Six Flags Scream Break. A little play on words there. Instead of spring break, it was Scream Break.
And I like me some medicinal drink. Let me tell you.
I believe it was the second year that they had Scream Break. Really fun. They had the Saw haunted house open. They had the Condemned House Party haunted house open, as well as a couple fun scare zones. Now, did it draw a lot of people there? Sure, from the haunt community. However, at least in my knowledge, it didn't draw a lot of general public, hence the cancellation of the 2025 event. Fans were going crazy talking about, Scream Break has not popped up on any of these special event posters throughout the park, on their website, or anything like that. And lo and behold, Scream Break 2025 is not happening, because it would be happening literally right now as we speak. So Scream Break got the axe this year. I really think that's because they're trying to save money and trying to budget a little bit better. And maybe it's the start of this new era of the Cedar Six Flags merger. And while it does suck, and it is a little stab in the heart to us haunt fans who genuinely enjoyed that event and had a great time partying up there with our favorite scare actors and monsters, honestly, it's for the betterment of Fright Fest and future special events at Six Flags. I've noticed a trend with Six Flags. They've spent money on stuff that necessarily they don't need to spend money on. For example, Fright Fest Extreme was a cool idea. Did they really need to bring IPs to their parks to their haunted events? Probably not. There's already a market for that. I think that they really need to capitalize on their original ideas, and while yes, having the IPs are cool, it's just they're spending too much money on that when they could be putting more money into the revamping the mazes that have made Fright Fest over the years, or maybe even making new original mazes. And the reason why I say Six Flags is kind of in a new era is because they also announced, or unofficially announced per se, they gave an exclusive to the OC Register, that Superman the ride will be closing forever. It's good. Abruptly, they were trying to get new parts in for it, and it's closed forever now. And this closed before I think the merger even happened, so I'm sure they had plans to open it up under, different management from up above, not just at the Magic Mountain level, but from up above. And now, obviously, it's sealed its fate. Like, it's going to be closed forever. So I think in that sense, they've also going to be saving a little bit of money as far as maintenance goes, as far as having to staff people there. It's a really popular attraction, yes, still, but I assume that a ride of that caliber is not easy to maintain / keep up with, and it's pretty pricey as well. So all this is well and dandy, but how does it exactly apply to Fright Fest? Well, like I said, budgeting. I really think that they need to relook at their budget, which they probably already are. We talked about it a lot last year when we went to Fright Fest Extreme, but I really think they need to revamp the whole event completely. Cut the event in half and really put in tons of details into the different mazes that are fan favorites, and maybe even completely redo Willoughby's if they still want to bring back Willoughby's, completely redo Condemned. I mean, they kind of redid Truth or Dare after its first year, and it was 10 times better. If they can just do that, but with all their different mazes, they would be golden. Maybe even put a maze back into where the Oz Scare Zone's at by Twisted Colossus and Scream. I don't know exactly what buildings they have back there / space that they have back there, but to get people to walk into that brand new zone and get people back there other than just to go ride Twisted Colossus is really going to benefit them in the long run, especially since that Oz Scare Zone was so freaking good last year. So my big thing with Fright Fest this year is I really hope that they budget a little bit better and not put as much money into, if they're going to bring IPs back, I don't think that they should put as much money into them. They should cut them in half, maybe even redo Trick or Treat a little bit, maybe even Stranger Things, since those are heavy hitters. Get rid of The Conjuring and Saw because those have been there for longer than the other IPs, and really focus on their original mazes and cut the event in half. Yes, there are so many characters, and all the characters at Fright Fest at every single haunt event, Fright Fest especially, are extremely talented, really deliver on their character work, especially in the scare zones. However, a lot of the times in the mazes and stuff, you see a lack of characters, and that's because they're spread out so far. If you go down to, like, let's say 7 mazes and, I don't know, 4 scare zones, think of how much more packed those scare zones and how much more packed those mazes could feel. And I think that would really benefit Six Flags and Fright Fest as a whole. And if they still want to compete with other haunts like Knott's Scare Farm and Halloween Horror Nights, I think that's the way that they gotta do it. Fright Fest is so much fun, and I really want to see them succeed. And I do think that they have plans like that, just considering the fact of what they've already started to do. Like I said, the cancellation of Scream Break, the closure of Superman, maintaining that budget so they can put the budget into a little bit more. Obviously, you know, they have to save a lot of room on the budget for that brand new coaster that they've been building for a while, or at least they've cleared ground for. That has a lot to do with it. Maybe it doesn't even have anything to do with Fright Fest at all, but that's just wishful thinking. We know as haunt fans and fans of the event and the theme park that they are passionate about Fright Fest, and Fright Fest at Magic Mountain is one of the best Fright Fest out there. So I definitely think that they are looking at every single different direction. I think they're looking at every single different piece of feedback from not only creators like myself, but fans who go every single night and just enjoy Fright Fest as just a regular general public guest. Because even after the first week of Extreme in 2024, there is a lot of constructive criticism and constructive feedback given to Fright Fest, and then the weeks following, it seems like they improved on it and made the necessary changes that they needed to from what everybody was saying. So obviously Six Flags is listening to the people. It's just, will they listen to the people when it comes to making their event 10 times better? That's what I really want to see them do this year. I have a lot of different ideas as far as mazes go and as far as scare zones go. We talked about it on one of our podcasts with one of the Stotewalkers, Crystal, our friend. We talked about, like, why don't they do like a zombified DC kind of scare zone? Like, you have your regular DC clowns, and then you also have like your zombified Harley Quinn or your zombified Joker. That'd be really cool if they really still want to keep the IPs involved in it, and that way they're still utilizing the IPs that they already have and had worked with for the longest time. Maybe even like a zombified Looney Tunes. I know that's kind of, you know, treading the line a little bit because that's more like cartoon characters, but still use the IPs that you already have, and maybe that is a success. I mean, you have DC Heroes and Villains Fest, which was really good last year, and that actually is returning this year. So why not incorporate the DC villains and the DC characters into your Fright Fest event as well? It's just something to consider. And honestly, I don't think that anyone's going to be upset at the fact that if they were to get rid of all the IPs. I think that as far as true Fright Fest and haunt fans go, everyone would be like, okay, yeah, we saw what they did last year. We weren't the biggest fans of it. There are some stronger IPs than the others. Like I said, Trick or Treat was really fun in my opinion. But you have other ones like the one that was right next to Aftermath, Army of the Darkness, I think it was called, which was essentially just Aftermath just reskinned. I think that a lot of fans would be accepting if they were like, okay, we're gonna scrap the IPs this year and we're really gonna focus on what makes Fright Fest special. But that's my take on this year's Fright Fest 2025, my early speculation / update video. I kind of wanted to go in here and talk about it. Lots of people talk about other haunts and as well as myself, so I feel like I should kind of give Fright Fest some love as well and talk about what I think could be potentially happening in the future. So if you guys agree with my thoughts and agree with my assumptions, please let us know down below in the comments section, and subscribe if you're new here with those bell notifications on. And as always, check out all of our social platforms down below in the description as well. But as for today's video, my name is Scott and you've been watching Exploring Attractions. Positivity is key, and most importantly, remember to keep exploring. Peace out, everybody.